My fiancé lied and cheated on me. I just learned he has a baby with an ex. Throwy. I, F36, have been with Marcus, M45, for 6 years. In all our time together, we've never had a fight or any important disagreements. We are both divorced. He has a 23-year-old son by his ex-wife. I don't know much about his ex-wife, except that she remarried and was the one to ask for a divorce. I know losing his marriage was a huge emotional blow, but he's over it. We are both engineers. We live a comfortable life, important to the story. He's very supportive of my ambitions and very proud of my achievements, which I've always found incredibly encouraging for a long-term relationship. We got engaged last year, but haven't decided on our wedding date because I would like a family gathering and the logistics suck. Plus, we need to make sure we create a very COVID-safe event. He shared some information about his exes. They've all left him, which I always found weird because he's smart, chivalrous, and very attractive. So I just thought he was some kind of gift from life that had been waiting for me. There's so much in my situation IDK where to begin. We've traveled, gone dancing, had lots of fun and done things that led me to think we had a very healthy emotional connection. Until 4 months ago, everything was just beautiful and seemed transparent. Then he had a business trip and hardly called / texted me during his stay. That's weird because we always stay in touch when physically apart. And it was never to check on each other but to share stuff, comment on something, etc. He came back acting a little weird. He was still loving but he was less talkative. Also, he got very guarded about his phone. I tried to see what was going on but never found anything. He took another business trip, but this time he almost called me but another woman's name during. For example, if her name is Betsy, he said Bet, then corrected himself. I freaked out thinking about a possible affair with a coworker. I combed his Facebook and all his social media, but never got anything. I broke into his emails last September. I know it's wrong, via his tablet that he never uses. I found years' worth of emails with Betsy. I've been completely blindsided by this situation with her. He only mentioned her name years ago as an ex, but was so casual I never thought it had any importance. I don't know what to do with this information. They dated years ago, and she now hates him. Their emails are horrible. From her side, asking him to please stop treating her that way, to him berating her, being jealous and accusing her of cheating, or criticizing her, or implying that she was less, or comparing her to his other exes. One of her emails accused him of being the worst man she's ever met, and that she had never loved someone so much only to get hurt so horribly, and that she will never forgive him. The emails lapsed for months, and then he wrote to her to ask her to please unblock him because he can't even text her now. Then another message from him says he just found out that she's pregnant, that he saw her and that she looked beautiful. He spent months begging her to meet. Also, he begged her to be a family, to let him pay for the baby expenses, and to also let him touch her belly. All of his messages were met with hostility. I looked her up and found her. She had a daughter and the kid looks just like him and his son. She never treats him nicely, except one time that she voluntarily sent him a picture. He's very insistent and keeps telling her he wants to meet his child, and to please tell her that he's her dad. Apparently, they didn't know she was pregnant when they broke up, and their separation was due to some type of unkindness on his side. He did have access to information about her because he said someone told him she was hospitalized and that she asked him to leave as soon as he showed up. He apologized for upsetting her. The daughter might be around 8 years old. Betsy emailed him an apology in September for sleeping with him. She said it was out of character and that she shouldn't have done that. He said he would do anything for a second chance, and that he would drop his present life in a heartbeat to be with his family. He said he would marry her and that he loves me and said very nice things about me, but that he would face the consequences. He says his intention is never to hurt me, but that he's miserable without her, and now he can't even focus on me while having because she comes to mind. He's been asking this woman for forgiveness for years, yet she hates him. Betsy keeps scolding him for his classism, and he says he would happily live a simple life and give up on his upper-class lifestyle if that helped and recovered his family. IDK, what to do? I hate the idea of a kid growing up not knowing her dad loves her. I love him deeply, but I want a man who knows I'm the love of his life. yet I'm frozen because losing him will hurt so much. Learning that he cheated is so shattering, especially the emotional cheating. This is eating him up. He comes out of the shower like he's been crying and is having zone-out spells quite often. Also, IDK how I feel about Betsy. I'm trying to be rational. I don't know what happened and why she calls him a broken person. I've done extensive research on her, and I found out she owns a company and seems to be successful. This matches their hostile emails to each other, and how she keeps telling him she doesn't want his money and to stick it up his. I know he's wrong for lying, and I don't know why he kept this from me. It's a huge secret and a deal breaker. I caught messages with his best friend who lives where Betsy lives, and he openly told his BF he loves his child and has set an account for her in hopes to contribute financially. I feel so betrayed. His friend has been telling him to let me go if he can't love me enough, and to try and accept losing Betsy for good or to just move closer and get a foot in the door to her heart. I don't know the circumstances that lead to them sleeping together, but she has told him this doesn't change anything. He's been eating less and looks really depressed, so I really don't know what to do. Telling him I've been snooping is not an option. I really need advice on how to handle this. Thanks. Story 2. BF of 5 years had affair for 4 months. I found out recently that my boyfriend, my rock, my one constant in a pretty tumultuous, was cheating. Someone sent me an Instagram DM on the 17th October, but I didn't see it until recently as it came through as a message request. She explained that she had actually been seeing my boyfriend after they met on a stag do in the Highlands, Scotland, roughly early June. She said they last slept together on the 4th of October. For months, she had been coming to where I considered my home to be, sleeping in my bed. For months, he meticulously went around the house, hiding things like framed photos of us, houseplants, my teddy, all my clothes, toiletries as well. When I came home on the weekends, it was mostly put back. Sometimes I'd notice things were out of place, but put them down to him being annoyed at me or something. I'm not sure. She eventually found out about me. After questioning him over silver shampoo in the bathtub, I'm blonde, and he assured her that we had broken up and that it was recent. However, they bumped into a friend of mine in the supermarket who asked how I was keeping. The girl, after about a month, decided to reach out to me. I'm not sure why it took her a month and sleeping with him twice since that incident to reach out and find me on Instagram, but it did. He promised me that he was trying to find a way to tell me. They cut things off around mid-October, but I only found out around the 7th November. I feel so lost, so confused. I didn't see this coming at all. He says it was a mistake that got out of control and that I haven't been there for him as much recently. But I was living with him in June, so I'm not sure how he even managed to pull this off. A date in October, I was stranded in the city where he lives and I'd asked if I could come round and stay. Bit weird, after almost 5 years, I still didn't have a key to his place, which we picked out together. Anyway, I ended up having to crash on my friend's couch before heading back to the city I am studying in. Turns out when he said he was out of town that weekend, he actually had her round at the flat. I can't believe it still. Nobody can. None of my friends saw this coming. I didn't. He wants to meet up after the new year and talk. I don't know what to do. I still love him and I'm heartbroken. I'm 27 in March and now I feel like I'll never meet anyone. I'll never trust someone ever again.